Welcome to the Heroes Chained Live AMA. I'm your host Jazz Gill from Crypto G Hub. Crypto G Hub is a consultancy with a team of experts from around the world. We lead projects in all phases of its life cycle, be in seed stage, pre-IDO, and post-launch. Today, I have two very special guests on the live AMA with Heroes Chained. Mevlut Dinc, executive producer, and Onur Cayli, art director from Heroes Chained. Welcome, gentlemen. Great pleasure to have you here, and welcome to 2022. Wishing you
Thank
both a happy new year.
Happy New Year
you.
to you, Jess. Good to see
And
you up and running, smiling.
thank you very much. It's good to be back, and good to have you here as well. And looking forward to all the new things happening for Heroes Chained in 2022. I think is going to be a very tremendous year for the Heroes Chained and the team there as well. So just to kick off then, obviously you're both here. You work on different areas within Heroes Chained. Um, so to start off with you, Mev, obviously, we've had an AMA a long time ago with you as well, but for all the newcomers and new folks and people in the community who haven't met you before, it'd be great to hear about who you are, where you come from, what you do, what you're currently working on. So and so please tell us about yourself first. Over to you.
Absolutely, with pleasure. Before I start, though, I must remind you and the viewers that Onur may have to leave early because he's been
Okay.
trying to, finish a deadline, working very, very hard, as you can see from his lovely face.
He was very focused.
Yes. But to be honest, I'm hoping by now even our blockchain community knows me well enough. There's been so much said about me on our website and all the feeds in the social media, etc. But just to recap, I have been gaming since 1983. When I utter that date, a lot of people sort of get surprised because I'm sure a lot of our viewers weren't even born then. So I am very lucky. I have witnessed the entire development of the gaming sector from the very early years. In the UK, right up to the end of 2000, being involved in some classic games such as 3D Ant-Attack, Injura Racer, Last Ninja 2, First Samurai, and Street Racer, to name but a few. And at the end of 2000, I decided to return to my native Turkey to kickstart the gaming sector here. Obviously, there were some really talented people, had done some great work on the Amiga and Commodore 64, but all on amateur level. And I was hoping to start the professional gaming ecosystem in Turkey. So I'd like to think that I managed to achieve that in the early years. And obviously, when there isn't a professional sector, as you can imagine, there aren't many experienced developers to work with. So I was lucky enough to find some really talented young university students to kickstart the things. And very quickly, we established a very good development team and produced some early games in Turkey. And we have reached millions of gamers in Turkey with our work. And after a break of 8 years, last year, I'm saying last year already, it's amazing. We are, like you pointed out, we are into 2022. With my good friend Erhan's initiative, we started this amazing journey with Heroes Chained, and I cannot believe how exciting it has been so far. It's been a brilliant ride. The entire team is really excited, working really hard, day and night, non-stop. And as you know, we have a public IDO coming up in a few days. We are almost there. So um, it's very tiring, but at the same time, very, very rewarding because we are doing something very special in this amazing blockchain technology ecosystem. This is very new to me and to a lot of the team members, but we are doing our best to make a difference here as well. So I'd be more than happy to talk more about the game and answer any of the questions. So I'll leave it to Onur now
Thank you,
to
Mev.
say a few
So
words about himself.
absolutely, Honor, over to you. Please tell us about, who you are, where you come from, where you are now, and what's your position in Heroes Chained.
As an art director for Heroes Chain, a great name called Heroes Chain. So after I met with Mr. Erhan and Mevlut abi, I decided to take a part in this journey. So I'm responsible of directing the art team and creating the concepts and the 3D assets in the game. And I have been also working as an art director and concept designer in the animation, visual effects, and computer games field for more than 15 years. So I had an opportunity to work on Stranger Things and Ant-Man, Terminator, Game of Thrones, Avengers, Hunger Games, Spider-Man, Men in Black, Marvel vs. Capcom, and like a couple of other well-known projects in my career. And right now, I'm just pretty busy with finalizing the great visuals of Heroes Chain. Also working as a concept designer, art director for Netflix projects, uh, and teaching in the university in animation and computer games departments.
Very interesting. So that's a pretty interesting background, like Mev himself and yourself, and obviously you've done some amazing stuff for quite a few films there as well, quite a few household names as well, a few movies
Mhm.
I've watched as well. So obviously, you were saying earlier on you haven't got so much time today because you're quite pressed for time. So I thought I'll
Yes.
jig around some of the questions, right, in case you have to leave a bit earlier, and then I
Yes.
can continue with Mev. But obviously you've been doing a lot of designing for movies and series that you mentioned. Um, how would designing for a blockchain differ from the designs you have created for movies?
Mhm.
Honor.
There is not that much difference because I'm trying to keep the same quality and the resolution for the game. I have to say that we have our own pipeline, which is something like we are creating the assets and character in cinematic quality. Then we optimize the models for the game. So it means that all the assets as NFTs and also the in-game quality is going to be like very high quality because it is not something like we started creating all those like environments and weapons and character in the game res because like when you create those in that pipeline you start very low resolution and low resolution textures, but I hope all the viewers are going to have a chance to see our quality in the upcoming teaser. So we are using that high resolution assets in our cinematics and also in game models. So
Hmm.
I mean I'm trying to transmit the knowledge and the experience that I get from those Hollywood projects into this project, and it's our uh, main goal to get that quality, basically. Yeah.
Okay. And have you come across any key challenges in obviously moving across from what you've been doing previously to obviously now the blockchain and obviously the
Mhm.
gaming? And is there any areas that, you would say, Honor, that you've got challenges or you've been challenged in certain areas, and how have you overcome them?
I mean, since the beginning, my only challenge was to understand the blockchain technology, and I'm still trying to understand that. But when you trust someone, when you trust your team, you can focus on your work. So
Hmm.
this is what I'm doing. Everybody is there doing their job really well, and we can getting the feedbacks.
Yeah,
Like we are
that's great.
getting really high ranks,
Yeah,
and we on the top. So that means that I don't have to think that much about that challenge. Somebody's doing their job really well to cope that. And
that's
so
wonderful.
I'm really lucky to have the team that I can focus on my
Yeah,
arts. And in the
yeah.
art part, we don't have any challenge because we have a good art team, and we really know what we are doing. And
Mm,
I mean, every day, all the art that we are creating is exciting us. So
mm.
even though we have been seeing them for every day, still is very exciting. So there is no challenge. There is only excitement. This is the answer I can give you.
And I suppose you're getting more and more understanding of the blockchain every day now because you're right in the blockchain, right?
Yeah, I am. I am. But still, I'm really behind. Still, there are lots of things to learn.
Hmm.
And also, I'm not the kind of person that separate my brain into different pieces. I'm multitasking in my profession. But
Hmm.
as I said, I'm learning blockchain technology. Trust that system because I'm putting my whole energy into this
Hmm.
game,
Yeah.
uh, learning and developing all the skills. Yeah.
Hmm. That's wonderful. So then,
Mhm.
I mean, one other thing I was going to ask you, just going back on to your background, was it, your background in the sense that when you saw, we didn't touch upon you, you growing up as a youngster, but when you were quite a young kid, was it obviously doing the creative part and being an art director within both in the gaming sense and also being an art director within the movie industry as well out there in Hollywood? I mean, is it something that you just decided to pick up the art brush compared to picking up the football ball or the rugby ball or something like that, or the cricket bat or whatever? Were you just like from day one you were just it was just naturally that you wanted to follow into art? I mean, how did it start off in your early younger years?
I mean, as other kids in Turkey in 1980s, the television was a big influence on us. I was watching all those like popular TV shows, like animations on TV, and get inspired by those. Of course, I still like when I was kid as well. Like spent time outside with my friends and playing soccer and all those stuff, of course. But my main passion was expressing myself by drawing and creating something. Just I had stories when I was a little kid, and I was trying to find the best way to communicate with people around me and get approval from my parents. So, all the kids, they try to get approval. They say, okay, you are good at that. I mean, you draw well, and you get encouraged, and you draw more. If you get
Hmm.
discouraged about something from your family, and you just like stop doing it because it is the right thing for you at that time, especially the way that we grow up. And my family was always supportive, and they said, okay, you are going to be an artist. And they get me the best tools and all the art supplies and stuff. Then after the high school, I had a chance to get art education in high school. I was doing painting and sculpture. Then I just did a degree in graphic design, and after that moved to San Francisco to get MFA degree in visual effects and animation. It's just a whole journey. But since I remember myself, I having like drawing and painting. Yeah.
That's wonderful. Obviously, it's been an interesting journey, but it's been a long journey as well. It's good uh, for the community to understand, like, the actual steps, and it's obviously you've been building and building upon it to really where you got now, right? And it obviously sends
Mm-hmm.
out the messages to the younger generation that, hey, whatever you want to achieve out in your heart, regardless where you live in the world, whatever resources you have, if you're really motivated and you want to do it, everything's possible, right? Nothing can really hold you back, right?
Yeah, I mean, motivation is important. Sometimes the challenges in life might give you a twist, but you always have to keep in your mind that you have a passion, and this is the thing that you hold on. And at least in my case, it was like that, and this is what I recommend to young people. Just like never give up, and just like go forward. So yeah,
That's great. Thank you, Onur. So, Mev,
yeah.
you obviously been in the traditional gaming industry for quite some time. You've had a checkered career, um, but in the UK, working for quite a few well-known household names as well in the traditional gaming industry. And I do remember all the computers you mentioned as well, you know, and I've had a few of those myself as well. Um, so, as extensive experience as a game developer, when you moved obviously into the blockchain gaming area, sort of what sort of tools and abilities have you taken across, and has it been quite a difference in actually to developing a traditional game to then moving across now to a whole new tech ecosystem in the blockchain, and how have you dealt with it?
Um, well, to be honest, Jazz, I'm a game designer, developer, and a producer. So I've been involved in all aspects of game development.
Hmm.
I have seen all the changes in the hardware aspect and all the changes in technology. So we had very simple 8-bit machines with, if you remember, cassette players, waiting for ages to load the games. And then we had consoles, 8-bit consoles, then 16-bit consoles with
Hmm.
fast loading, and obviously hardware also improving. So we adapted ourselves very easily to all the new technologies and platforms, all
Hmm.
the different operating systems. It's quite remarkable when you look back, how many changes the entire industry has gone through, from 8-bit to 16-bit to 32-bit, etc. And now we are talking about AR, VR, and now blockchain. And of course, before then we had the internet. That was another revolution for the gaming, because then we were talking about doing online games, massively multiplayer role-playing games involving hundreds of thousands of people playing together across the universe. That's absolutely amazing. And then we had mobile devices, making the games even more accessible. So you could play games anywhere you wanted. Obviously, changing the gameplay aspect, design aspect. Of course, mobile devices, you have to design games accordingly, etc. But all the developments have made the gaming uh, bigger every time. It's absolutely amazing. It's the biggest entertainment sector in the world. It has been so for the last 20, 25 years. So with this remarkable blockchain technology, we are seeing another major shift. I reckon the impact of blockchain in the entire gaming industry will be bigger than the consoles and the mobile combined. Because, as you know, even a single game, commands a market cap of billions of dollars, which is
Absolutely.
remarkable.
Yeah.
But from day one, obviously, as a gamer of 38 years of experience, I could clearly see the differences, the shortcomings, if you like. It's a brilliant technology, obviously, blockchain technology, providing amazing benefits to the gamer, which is brilliant because I'm a gamer's producer. That's why my gamers love me, to be honest. Um, so it allows the game to be owned by the gamer, which is brilliant. It also allows them to make money. But from day one, when we discussed blockchain and producing games with this technology with Erhan,
Yes.
I realized that the community of blockchain ecosystem was very tiny in comparison to the gaming sector, because
Hmm.
we are talking about 3.2 billion gamers. That's a huge number. But total blockchain gaming industry probably only has 20 million gamers, if that. So there is a tremendous opportunity for people like me and for companies like Invention Games and games like Heroes Chained to bring traditional gamers to this ecosystem so that we can grow the gamer base as well as the economic value. So that really excites me and excites our team. Like Onur, I don't know much about the blockchain technology. It doesn't concern me at all. All I know is that it's brilliant. It's been embraced by a huge population, many countries, although there are some uncertainties about it. But it will all be ironed out, I'm sure, because it's the future. And I'm glad to see that blockchain uh, technology is expressing its biggest uh, impact via gaming. And I'm really pleased that I'm involved in this amazing dream team from my own country and trying to do a game globally. We have a team with global experience, and we've had amazing reactions and interest in the game. We've received brilliant investment partnerships, not just money but partnerships, which is absolutely brilliant. And obviously, starting with Avalanche, CDFI, and many other crypto funds.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah. And then, I mean,
So,
from your background, and obviously you got an extensive background in traditional gaming. I mean, from your obviously now you've been working on Heroes Chain for quite some time, doing a lot of strategic work there, Mev. So, is there? I mean, would there be a couple of key strengths that you would say that helped you, uh, to transition so quickly into the Heroes Chain ecosystem? Is there some that you look back now after being in it? Obviously, ideas coming soon and everything, so the momentum of Heroes Chain is moving at a rapid pace now. And the team's super busy. But was there any key skills that you thought, wow, this has really helped me out, that you had developed in the past, or have that you thought, well, this is really is valuable, that what I have previously?
well, it's a great question, and like I've been trying to say all along, is that we, from day one, we decided to make a great game, a game that's playable with or without blockchain. Blockchain is a technology, like I keep saying. And our game happens to embrace, integrate with blockchain technology, which is brilliant. So without it, our game is still a decent playable game. So that's where our strength lies. And in the same vein, like Onur said, from day one, we've decided not to use any ready-made assets. Everything is created in-house. I mean, to me, that's very, very important. And Onur and I are absolutely perfect on the same page on this. That's why we love working together. So Onur and his team are absolutely brilliant, creating everything from scratch, but at the highest quality, so that we can use them in NFTs, like Onur said, in cinematics, cutscenes, whatever. But of course, we will make sure that all that quality and beautiful work is reflected in the game as well, which isn't easy. But another important thing is that we wanted to do from, again, day one, was that we wanted to make sure that our game worked on mobile. Because I noticed that most of the blockchain games were PC only. That's another limitation of user base. So mobile is absolutely massive. So we want to embrace, the traditional gamer in the widest possible percentage. And that's a key aspect to our effort.
Sure. And I suppose, I mean, both.
Sorry, just to add to it, is that's why, again, from day one, we have adopted play and earn as opposed to play to earn, which is completely different, it's, as opposed to,
Yeah. And I suppose also, both of you guys, from your industry experience, both in the traditional games and also in the movie industry as well, it looks like that you both obviously have that traditional skill set, and that what you've done is you've layered it over into the blockchain, which has really added a lot of value, because obviously, like you said, Mev, you developed those traditional games, and then you've taken that as if it was a traditional game and actually built it upon the blockchain, right? So obviously you've got the best of both worlds, haven't you? Instead of just being a person who just has only pure blockchain experience and nothing else. And it's same with Onur's case as well, having worked on so many extensive movies out in the US, that he's obviously got that experience and expertise of how they do it in the movie industry, and then brought that knowledge and fused it into Heroes Chain. And I think that's what obviously makes Heroes Chain quite different from a lot of the other blockchain games, isn't it? It's really the experience of the team that they can fuse and integrate with the other technologies. Now, another question I had was on NFTs. So, how is it that implementing NFTs in the game has changed the development and design process of the game? That's open to both of you guys. So, how's implementing the NFTs changed the development?
Maybe Onur can start because he may have to leave soon.
I'm working in the same time. I just stuck around here and just like work in the same time because I use this monitor that you can draw and you can be here. That's fine. I'll just keep here. And the thing is, I'm not sure like if the viewers are aware. Maybe there are newcomers, but we release a mechanical hand. Just
Right.
like put in the hand and just like it's like moving around, and at the end our logo shows up. So that's the quality that our unique NFTs are going to be. And as I previously mentioned, that it's going to be the movie quality, basically. This is what you guys understand from that. And we are not using any assets from other games, or we are not using pre-model assets. We are starting from sketch. We do like hand drawing sketches, like basic pen and pencil, like traditional way. Then we focus on creating something unique that you cannot see anywhere else in any game, in any movie. Or of course, there are sword is a sword, helmet, but it's different. It is be unique. All the thing like that you are gonna get as an NFT is going to be like a art piece, So, I mean, I'm trying to, create these NFTs that you will be looking at them like whole night. You just like turn it off. You just like come back and just like, you enjoy watching those. This is what I'm doing. The assets and all the art that we are creating for this movie. Before I go to sleep, I just like turn it on and just like watch. It looks good, and just go back in the early morning. I just wake up and just look at it and says like, okay, this is looking good. So I never release something that I'm not fully satisfied, and this is what I have been doing for a long time. So I hope the people who has those who is going to own those NFTs are going to be happy. This is my feeling.
That's wonderful, Onur. Thanks for that.
We have two different kinds of NFTs, Jazz.
Mhm,
We have obviously, just like in traditional games, massive multiplayer games. We will have, obviously we used to call them in-game items, but in blockchain ecosystem they are called NFTs. I just laugh sometimes. Actually the game is game. Doesn't matter whether it's on Game Boy, whether it's on PlayStation or Xbox or whatever. You know what I mean? So
mhm,
that's why we are designing the game like a normal game that
mhm,
millions of gamers can enjoy. So we have classic uh, NFTs in the game that people will uh, possess, use, buy, sell, exchange, whatever, as well as we will introduce amazingly high quality NFTs before the game is released. Hopefully, after the IDO, obviously I won't be committing to any dates at the moment, but I can say that we will be releasing unique NFTs for our gaming community to purchase, and they will be so unique that they won't be actually available in the game. So we have a lot of great stuff in store for the gaming community.
sure. Okay. So one of my other questions was that, thank you for that, both Honor and Mev, about the NFT question. I think that's quite a good question for all the community, especially around the NFT area. Um, so, from both of your perspective, um, what's your opinion that will sort of fascinate the players of Heroes Chain to remain inside this game? What will sort of keep them in the game from your
I
point of view?
mean, from art's perspective, I think um, the characters are going to be unique looking, and we have like different races, and also you can uh, breed the races and create something uh, very different looking. And also you can make sets of armors and weapons. You can
Hmm.
mine those weapons and create something very unique out of those. So there are lots of spatial visuals for this world, the environments and the guilds and inside the city, the exploring and all those stuff. We are aiming to do something extraordinary, actually. Even like a small dagger that you find from the menu. This is not something you can just see in the game, like very small. Also, if you get these as NFTs while you are selling in the market or while you are getting something out of it, you can just
Hmm.
zoom in and you can just like check that stuff because it's like super quality. And of course, the story, because I'm seeing in the questions like uh, it's all about like what kind of story that you are playing the game and different atmospheres and different setups for the stories. I mean, we are gonna do our best to for the players to lose themselves inside that game. Yeah.
Okay, great. And anything from your side, Mev,
Oh,
regarding that?
absolutely, of course. I always have something to say, Jazz.
I know that.
Uh, well, to be honest, maybe I'm repeating myself, but from day one, we wanted to create a game, playable game, fun to play, so that while you're playing, you will benefit from the blockchain technology and also earn money rather than the other blockchain games where people play to earn money. So they don't really care how much fun those games are. You know what I mean? Because they don't need to spend a lot of time in them. They only spend time in them as much as they have to earn money. Whereas we are doing our best to create a fun game so that people will play the game for as long as they want. And as long as they want, we will continue to support the game. You know what I mean? 4, 5, 6 years, whatever. So in that respect, we have a very good concept, gaming concept. My son Nej has designed a brilliant game, and then our friend Jay turned the concept into a magnificent story, which we are releasing on our Twitter feed, bit by bit. So it's a great story. And just like in MMORPG games, we could say that Heroes Chained is really like a mini RPG, MMORPG game, because we have leveling up, we have quests, we have player to player versus player, player versus environment and enemies, and also alliances can be formed. We have so many varying heroes, like Onur said, we have breeding. So you can level up your heroes, and then because we have male, female heroes, and then you can crossbreed them and create your own heroes. So we have a lot of unique features as well. And plus, this is very important to me to sustain the game for a long time, and make sure that people both enjoy playing the game and also remain interested in the game and also attract new gamers. It is imperative that we continually add new features and expansion packs. So we will periodically add new levels, new features, and expansion packs. And we will also listen to our gaming community, what features they would like to see, because that's another amazing aspect of blockchain gaming, because the game will be owned by the gamers, not by us, even though we are developing the game, but we don't own it in any way, which is brilliant.
That's great. Thanks, Mev, for that. So a bit more of a technical question. Obviously, Onur does all the art. And could you walk us through the process of implementing Onur's art and the visuals he does into the game? What is the process of implementing Onur's art into and the visuals into the game? And
Okay.
yeah.
I can put it this way. Just I'm not creating the all art.
Hmm.
Me and my team, we have really talented artists in the team, and I would like to say thank you to them as well. They are working really hard, and they do their best to first enjoy, then do something unique for it. Because if you don't enjoy, it's going to become a job. This is not a job for us. We are not coming to work as we are coming to a job. It's just we enjoy this, and you guys going to see that enjoyment is going to find a place in the game. It's going to reflect as visuals. So all the art we are creating, you can find the little corners of the game. Even like nobody is going to see those corners, we will be enjoying those corners.
Hmm.
And you might get surprises. Oh wow, like never seen this place before. They put that little thing here, but it's so unique and looking good. And the only thing I can say briefly, you know, I want also the players to have fun and enjoy our arts. Then we are gonna be feel fulfilled. So our art is going to be as NFTs, our sketches, even like I was mentioning, those like hand drawings. Those are going to be NFTs. All the little pieces that we are creating for this game is going to be NFTs, and also you can own those arts.
And as far as then, you obviously have the visual sketches, and then later on, you have the 3D model. How does all that become a part of the visual in the blockchain?
So, for example, because it's the example that we can see right now, the gauntlet, the hand.
Hmm.
So there are going to be different version of that, like different colors, but like only small number of those are going to be like very unique. It's going to be the same visual, but we are going to make additional uh, pieces and like colors and to make it look way better. So also the weapons and characters and all those assets that we create, they can get them from the market and they can sell and buy and that kind of stuff. I think maybe Tabi is going to
Yeah, I
explain that.
think I think we had a little disconnection there.
Yes.
Briefly. Anyway, we are back. Well, to be honest, the entire team is working together. Obviously, Onur and his team are creating the original artwork. We have a very well-defined pipeline, well tested, and then we have the programming team headed by Tolga, and they work very closely together. Uh, Obviously, Onur does all the initial sketching with his team, creating all the characters, and then modeling, and then bringing it all into Unity. That's what we use in the game. We use Unity engine to develop the game. And also, let's not forget the sound aspect. We have a brilliant music director in Emre Yucelen, who is contributing sonically to the wonderful visuals and all the brilliant effort Onur and his team are putting into the teaser we are currently working on. And Emre is also contributing with his magical fingers on the keyboard and everything else. Um, so yeah, it's a combined effort really, the entire team. And obviously business development is also very important. And let's not forget uh, our team is also doing a brilliant job, and also non-stop talking to investors. We are getting 10, 15 inquiries every day and managing it all that, and sifting through and deciding on the most strategic partners is not an easy job. And Erhan, Ersin, and Salih are doing a brilliant job with that. Um, Yeah, so the entire team is really working hard and also very, very excited to
Okay,
be
Mev, thank
working
you.
together. Yeah.
So, Mev, how would you describe the game experience in Heroes Chained for the player? A few words.
Well, it's a fun game to play, and it's a game that allows a newcomer to enter the game very easily. It will be free to play. This is very important. As you know, most blockchain games are pay to play. You have to pay something, you have to buy something before you can enter the game. So, in order to make the adoption and entry into our game, blockchain based Heroes Chain game easy, we have decided to make our game free to join and play. Um, and then all the traditional gamers will find themselves at home playing Heroes Chain, just like any other games they have been playing. And similarly, obviously, we are also developing a blockchain based game. Uh, and blockchain based gamers will also find themselves at home. So we are offering really the best of both worlds. And by combining the both together in the best way possible, we are hoping that instead of tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of gamers, we will have millions of gamers.
Wonderful. Thank you for that, Mev. So, Honor, there was a an article, a Medium article that was done on you, and I'm gonna read a quote from it. Um, in this Medium article, the urge for success and appreciation from others is very strong, but I think an artist should always race with themselves. This is how you can acquire an original way of expression. So, both of you stepping into the creation of the blockchain game from your successful careers that you've had so far, made both of you have made a huge step that many would not dare to do. How does it feel to lead a revolutionizing project like this in a new field?
Okay,
How do you
it's a
both
great
feel?
question.
Open to
I
both.
mean, I can personally answer this question. This is what I have been trying to do in my whole career, just to just compete with my own level. It is difficult. Sometimes I achieve, sometimes I couldn't because it's a very competitive industry. You had to compete with others. But I said that from the perspective of my own artistic style. Okay. Um, right now, I'm checking all those blockchain games to get inspiration and what they are really doing it there. And my aim is not to create a better art or just a art which takes more attention than those. I'm just in this project. I'm just doing better than the previous work that I did. Okay, and maybe I skip some parts that I was thinking it will be better for the next project. These are the things that I'm trying to apply in this project, and so I think I can achieve my goal. I hope. Yeah.
Thank you. And Mev?
I think that's one of the reasons why uh, we are a great match with Onur. We are really on the same page. Um, I am very lucky in that I can't even play game, as I reveal in my book. I am absolutely pathetic. I'm really bad at playing games, but I've been lucky enough to create some amazing products in the UK originally. Um, because I don't play games, I never try to uh, compete with other people. You know, I like Onur said, I've always tried to compete with myself. Always try to do something better than previously, and also without realizing that I was always trying to create something first. Uh, it's a great feeling. You know, with all my games, if you examine them closely, there are two, three aspects. Sometimes it's visual, sometimes it's gameplay, sometimes it's technical, or a combination of combination thereof. Uh, that allows my work to stand out of the crowd, and that's a key thing. And I think we are doing something similar here, without uh, trying to sort of challenge anyone, without look. I don't even look at other games, to be honest. We know what we want to do, the type of game we want to do. We have designed it ourselves. Everything is done in house. So we are really concentrating on what we want to do, and we want to achieve it to the best of our abilities. And
Hmm.
combined, we have amazing experience, knowledge, and that's all we can do, to be honest. And I
Sure.
always advise young people to uh, not try too hard to be original, because to try to be original is not always beneficial, because it's not always easy to explain people a new idea, uh, because people find it difficult to embrace new ideas, and they need to relate to it easily to embrace it and understand it. So again, referring to my previous games like Street Racer, there were loads of racing games before, but it was the first game that allowed simultaneous four-player gaming, which was brilliant. It's just one thing was enough to, sort of race it ahead of all the other racing games. First Samurai, it was the visuals, the music, technical achievement, that kind of stuff. So we are here again, although I'm not really involved in coding anymore, but as the executive producer, I'm trying to make sure Onur is happy, that his work is fully utilized in the game and also used properly and treated with respect in even social media. These things are very important, because uh, I mean, a lot of blood and sweat goes into our work, and I know that Onur and his team are working day and night. In the same way, our development team, the programming team, are doing the same. We are all doing it, and that's all we can do. Really, do our best to produce the best game we can produce.
Thank you. And
You
one
know,
last. Go ahead, Onur.
sorry.
No, go
You
ahead.
know, there are projects like we all Mevlut abi, and I'm in the same page. I totally agree, and he has been getting offers for a long time, and he was waiting for this project. This is what we talk between us. It's the same in my case, and we are very picky. Like we cannot jump into any project. We have that experience, and even without like getting too much information, when you met with people and when you like listen them for a while, if you have experience in that field, you can in a second understand like what's going to be. And everything has been very smooth for me as an art director. Thanks Mevlut abi and Arhan Bey and all the team, and they were very supportive and make like that stuff like easy for us. That's why we can create our arts, because if I had to deal with so many problems, I cannot focus on my work. But I'm really happy. Even like when I'm talking to you right now, I just mute, I listen music in the same time I'm working. If you pay $1 million, you cannot make an artist work with passion. The artists have to find something enjoyable and interesting in that project, so he can devote himself. So I'm not just saying this to convince people to play this game or whatever. Just I'm saying what I feel. So they will see.
Sure. No, thank you for that. Just
Yeah.
one final question from me, and then I'll open it up to the community. So, both of you have achieved a great deal of success, both within the as Mev has, within the UK, and he's been here from a very young age and done some amazing stuff for quite a number of household companies and names in the gaming industry. And Honor, you obviously done some amazing stuff in the States. Um, you both come from Turkey. You grew up there and then moved overseas and achieved, greatness in your own areas of expertise. What would you say to you, Mev, and then bringing it back to Honor, Mev? What would you say to the younger kids, who want to become a Mev Dink, follow your footsteps in what you done? What tell them, sort of in your final words. I mean, give what would be the things that would help them, get to where you have got to if they wanted to do that journey.
Well, your question made me smile because today I have received a message and a long letter via LinkedIn, of all
Hmm.
places, from a very young guy. I don't want to bore you with the entire thing, but just to briefly answer your question, it's very relevant. He basically says that after reading my book, Life is a Game, and also apparently he was in primary school when he started playing my Istanbul game. It's absolutely amazing. There are hundreds of thousands of people like that. So it's beautiful to touch millions of people like this through your work. There's nothing more satisfying than that. And he wrote to me a 3-page letter saying he wants to be the next Mev Dink. You know,
Yes.
um, I mean, I get every day tens of messages asking me the same questions, and they are all asking for help. And then I realize how I managed to reach, the stage that I am at. It's the time and luck, talent, passion, where you are. They're all very important. There isn't one important thing. Actually, in all my presentations and also in my book, I have this very simple formula that I share, which I'd like to repeat here. I
Sure.
basically say you need talent, and that's 50%. And you need just as much wish to actually realize that talent. But that's 100%. And a lot of guys say, well, that's 100%. But because I say 3. But 100% isn't enough sometimes. So you need twice as much effort. And that's passion. When you're good at something and you love doing it, and then you spend all your time on it, that's when you succeed. But only you can discover what you're good at. I mean, you cannot become an Onur. Again, in my book, I explain in detail. I truly believe in natural talent. Of course, a lot of other things are important. If I weren't in the UK in the 1980s, working at that cable factory, meeting my English friend who insisted on buying the ZX Spectrum, I wouldn't be talking to you right now. That's one of those things. So uh, individuals have to discover their inner talent and then find ways to uh, realize it, And I'm always here, and we are always here. Onur, I know he'd like to join me in helping young kids. Hopefully, we won't be just making games. We will also be helping young kids who want to be successful in gaming or anywhere else. So that's basically what I can say to young
Thank you,
people.
Mev. And Onur, what about you? What do you say to the young kids who want to become the next Onur?
Okay, I mean, first of all, yeah, thanks for the question, but they should be another Onur. They should be just, they should be who they are and make that sharp and create their own name, you know. And it is difficult. This is not, I'm saying that I have achieved. This is something that I'm trying to do. I'm still trying to make a name and try to be original and just hardworking.
Mm-hmm.
I think um, the passion is very important, and this is the only thing keep me sitting in front of computer and work. Sometimes I lose the sense of time and just like have been sitting here. My family warns me, just like, hey, you need to get a break. If you just like keep getting breaks and just always keep checking the time, that's not gonna work. Just find something you enjoy and just lost the sense of time, and you that in that way you can find a spot for yourself and for your name in the industry. This is what I'm trying. Still I'm trying. And never say like I'm done. Okay. I'm okay. I become pro. I become, you know, professional or whatever. Just there is no end. And I think being humble about what you are doing and be respectful to who you are working with, and also the patient, just calm down, try not to get the result as fast as possible, um, because like right now people just try to become um, try to get a job really fast, try to make money really fast, but you just need to wait your turn and just be patient, but just work hard. And Mevlut was saying the luck. I totally believe in that. Just you need to be a little bit lucky too. But the luck finds you when you are trustworthy. Okay, if you just like try not to steal doesn't mean that you steal somebody's wallet. If you just don't if you waste your time while you are at work, if you don't do your job well, it's stealing too. You steal from others people, from your boss, from people you are working with. So you betray that thing. And if you are trustworthy and if you a good employee and or artist, whatever, the luck is going to find you. This is what I experienced in my whole life. So the luck is important, but when you are trustworthy.
Thank you, Honor. Thank you, gentlemen, for both, and thank you for that input as well. I think is very worthwhile for the younger generation to hear because you've made that journey. You're still on that journey. You still have the passion and desire to keep moving forward. But it's good for them to understand, the sort of steps you took and how you got off onto the right path and keep on going. And I think is a good motivational also for the younger generation in today's climate as well, to have people like you showing them that these things can be done and achieved, and everyone can do it provided they have the desire, passion, and love for what they do, right? Because it really boils down to, like you said, it's not, you don't check the clock, you don't check the minutes, you're just totally immersed in what you do, right? And
Yeah,
it just becomes a day and night, just like a hobby, isn't it? Really, is an interest, a passion, a desire that you live for, right? Which is
yeah, I
which is
just
great.
stopped working when I got really sleepy. This is my clock. If my body say like, okay, you are sleepy, you go take rest, that's the only time that I just leave the work.
That's
And there
great.
was one question here was like, okay, the team is great, sounds great, but we need to see more stuff. And it's on the way. You guys are gonna see what we are working on.
I think Jazz is going to ask the questions from the community now.
Yeah, so I was gonna, yeah, so basically thank you both for answering all my questions for the community as well. And so we'll open up to any questions the community has. So we'll see if any questions out there that the community want to ask. Or who knows, you might have answered all their questions as well in this
Yeah,
AMA.
we probably have, but while
So
you're sifting through the questions, Jazz, I'd like to invite all our uh, viewers to make sure they join our official channels, not to miss out on anything. Uh, I also see that some people just join our accounts, social accounts, to try their luck to win a token or two, and
mm,
then leave. We are not gathered here to sort of give out few coins and tokens, every now and then. We are trying to create a game for our community to play for years to come. So we do
yeah,
need their continuous support,
yeah, absolutely.
and
And
then they
while we
will they will be rewarded even more once they are in the game, inside the game.
and also I was gonna ask you, Mev, any other, while we wait for any questions to come on board, if there's any questions left to be asked. I mean, is there anything else you want to just talk about Heroes Change? You want to mention or anything else
Yeah,
that you
I'll
want to
just
say?
add
Any of
to
you?
What Onur was trying to answer the question. They want to see more. I keep saying this, but it's worth repeating. I think gamers are the worst consumers. I mean, you cannot
Hmm.
satisfy them, because they have so many choices, so many platforms, so many games coming out every day, and most of them free to play. And then they consume them very quickly. If they don't like them, obviously they move on to the next one. Um,
Yes.
so it takes a lot of hard work, you know. As Onur said, we are really working day and night to create this game, and there is so much more to do still. So I would urge our gamers to be trust us and be patient, that we will deliver something really enjoyable at the end of the day. If we can do it, we could we would deliver it tomorrow. There's no
Yeah.
reason to delay the release of the game. You
Yeah.
know, we have to do what is necessary to complete the first release, and we have so
Hmm.
much to do. And also plan ahead. Like I've said, we want to release so many features, so many expansion packs. All that requires a lot of planning, development time. Maybe sometimes community doesn't realize what it takes to create something out of the blue, from scratch. It's like so many people are involved, so many different disciplines. You know what I mean? I mean, even if you see what Onur and his team does just to create a teaser, it's just mind-boggling.
Yeah.
I mean, days and weeks of hard work just for producing 1 minute video. You know what I mean? And then people watch it. If it's 1 minute, they are impressed and probably forget that there were weeks and months of hard work that's gone into that wonderful work. So, yeah, I would just ask the gamers to trust us and be patient.
And I mean, the pace at which the team has worked has been tremendous, hasn't it?
Yeah,
From day
absolutely,
one,
yes.
you guys have gone at it, 120 miles per hour or something, right?
Absolutely, yes.
And obviously, in that short space of time, you've basically ticked off all the different areas you need to work, built the team together, had everyone working very strategically together as well, all the different
Yeah.
components of the game as well.
Yeah, one
And
other thing, Jazz, I'd like to add is that, again, this is something very unique to blockchain gaming space, in that obviously with traditional games, uh, I would probably do one or two interviews with magazines and share some working screenshots, and some work about the game. That's it. But now,
mhm,
I mean, we are preparing, we are doing AMAs, we are working hard to get ready for the IDO, uh, managing loads of partners around the globe. There's so much going on. It's uh, sometimes I find it difficult to comprehend. You know what I mean? So I can understand that community probably doesn't quite, sort of comprehend what's going on behind the doors. But they
yes,
can believe me. There is so much goes on.
I think
okay,
there is also another challenge, right? Because all those like game companies, they release a trailer and the players just wait for 2 or 3 years. They just once in a while answer like a couple of questions and like show some artwork, but you gotta wait. But right now, just in this uh, situation, we had to answer all their questions and we tried to make sure that everybody's happy. It's like pretty complicated job. It's not like a traditional gaming, right? Mevlut abi, it's
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah,
and I
okay,
think it's an advantage too because
yeah,
like we answer everybody's question and make sure that they get what they're expecting.
absolutely. So just a couple of questions has just popped up. We'll quickly go through them. As you know, I'll read them out. As you know, play to win projects fall victim to inflation after a certain stage. Do you have a plan to prevent this? So, do you have a plan to protect your investor who trusts and buys the project?
Well, that's a mouthful of a question.
That's correct.
um, well, to be honest, I mean, blockchain gaming has its own challenges, obviously, you know. So we are trying to create a game which is fun to play by a large community of people. And we also have game economics to manage, and we cannot foresee how many gamers we will have, but we have a limited number of tokens, which is amazing. So we cannot change that. It's not like, oh, come on, let's release some more tokens. So uh, we are working very hard to take whatever measures we can. It's not easy, but obviously we have an amazing blockchain uh, technology team. That was one of the key aspects that made me join the team and the company very easily, because that's not something I'm very experienced in, just like Onur, you know. So we will take whatever measures, possible, and foresee. That's all we can do. But we are taking uh, the right measures to prevent any potential problems. So we have reserves, we have adaptable formulas to release rewarding and that kind of stuff.
I mean, I don't consider Heroes Chain as a standard blockchain game. To be honest,
Mhm.
this is my opinion. We are trying to make a good game. Who they probably keep repeating the same thing. The players enjoy the game. So when the players enjoy the game and the visuals are good, it's classic. The description of a good game. When this thing is like filled up, you guys don't need to worry. Just I don't know, just
I
like
just have a simple
you don't
question.
need to concern about it. Just this is not don't consider it just like a blockchain game. This is going to be a good game. Just think about
Mhm.
it.
Okay. Another question. I'll read it out to you. Do you have a plan so that the coins earned from the game do not constantly lower the price?
So would you repeat that,
So
please?
yeah, do you have a plan so that the coins earned from the game do not constantly lower the price?
Well, I mean, you can guarantee anything, you know. All we can do is that we will introduce a great game to play to our gaming community and take any steps and measures we can to manage the gaming economics. Beyond it, there are obviously uh, market pressures. Markets go up and down, and games are affected by it.
Hmm.
So there may be things outside and beyond our, you know, control. But all we can do is that anything within our control, we will do our best to both manage the game and also the game economy.
Sure, that's wonderful. Uh, I have this other question here. It says, I'm just reading them out from the community, so you will probably see it there. Um, so I'm not a savvy gamer, so I want to ask, is there anything like community support or tutorials on these NFT games on your website and how to play and earn
That's
so that it helps us? Obviously,
that's
this is
brilliant.
a probably a traditional gamer who
Yeah, that's a
is obviously,
that's,
hasn't been
that's
in
a
the blockchain ecosystem.
that's a perfect question. Uh, Actually, that's one of the things uh, we are doing in the background, working on right now. I have actually organized uh, a few people that I can trust, both from my previous games and also from blockchain community uh, who are helping us with our efforts, who trust in our team and in our game, who partnered us. So basically, what I'm doing is organizing all the traditional gamers on the Discord channel, and blockchain uh, experts will walk them through the entire process. You know what I mean? How to play a blockchain based game, how to earn money, how to open a wallet, all that kind of stuff. But the important thing is that we are designing the game in such a way that uh, in the beginning, traditional gamers don't have to know anything about blockchain if they don't want to. They can just come and play the game as a traditional game. And as and when they are ready, they can then, switch to blockchain ecosystem because we will protect their tokens. They will be earning tokens just like the blockchain gamers, just like in any traditional game. Um, but obviously, we will have tutorials, we will have guidelines, we will have videos, we will have many, many things. It's a community thing, and I'm sure we will have lots of uh, volunteer gamers sharing their experience and knowledge, with the rest of the gamers.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Uh, and another question is from the community, when will VR come? And when will we sort of use that sort of VR technology and be realistically involved in the game?
Well, I mean, people who know me would know that I don't really believe in VR technology that much. I've never done so because it's never been a hardware problem with VR. I think fundamentally there is a problem in its design because when you have a big helmet or something over your head which detaches you from the real world, it's unnatural to human behavior. That's why it causes nausea, and you cannot play more than 30 minutes and that kind of stuff. They are all unacceptable limitations in gaming environment. Unless it is reduced to, a normal, pair of glasses or lenses or earpieces, uh, uh, I'm not sure VR will be a mass product in terms of gaming. Obviously, it's brilliant for educational and simulation purposes. So, from that, I can say that I believe more in augmented reality. I think that will be more interesting in the future.
Sure. And another question I found really interesting, Mev, and I was going to ask and I picked it anyway.
Sure.
So, which traits of your personal character align with one of the characters in the game? Don't you think that's just an awesome question?
That's a brilliant question. But in my previous games, the team have always used, something from my character, or they based items on my name, that kind of stuff. So again, I'm hoping it's an open message, a public message to Onur and his team, that I'm hoping they can do something similar and create either a horrible boss or a wonderful hero. I don't know. I'm happy to leave it entirely to their discretion.
The final
But
boss.
the final boss would be nice, as long as I don't lose. I don't want to retire yet.
Wonderful. I'll just see if there's any other questions. Any other questions? We'll give it a minute or so, and then if not, then we'll wrap it up.
Well, thanks to Onur for staying this long.
Honor,
Obviously, he's
yes, you said you were
been
going to stay for a little while,
multitasking.
but I think you found the conversation very interesting, and
Yeah,
you thought, no,
because
I've got to stay now.
I was listening and just working in the same time, just whenever it comes to my turn. And it was a pleasure.
Yeah.
Okay, that's wonderful then. So let's call this a wrap then. So I wanted to
Okay.
thank you, gentlemen, for both coming on to the AMA, and it's been great to have you, actually both of you here, and both from a executive producer perspective as well, and obviously from the art director as well. It's been interesting to touch on both of your backgrounds, and also how you engage with the game and what you've been working on the project side as well, and also to get some insights on the up and coming things as well. So I wish the whole of Heroes Chained team a happy new year, and also success, lots of successful 2022. The community has been just rocketing up. As you can see, the numbers of the community increase day by day, right? So there's so many passionate people within the community that love what Heroes Chained is doing, and what you guys stand for as well as individuals as well. Not just doing the game, but also real people out there living their life and contributing into society, helping the younger generation, to give them a glimpse of what can happen in this industry and how you move and do things, right? So that's all wonderful. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for having us, Jazz, and it's great to see you in full health.
Thank you very much.
And you're always welcome to host us again in the future. We will obviously have a lot more to share. But I'd like to say at this point that we are really, really excited about releasing our teaser and new website in the next couple of days, just in time for the wonderful public IDO that will happen hopefully on the 17th of January. That's next Monday. So that's a very, very exciting milestone for us and for Heroes Chained. And thanks for everyone for their support.
No, you're welcome. And we're looking forward to next week, right? It's just around the corner.
Yeah.
Thank
That's
you.
correct.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Onur.